Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to StubHub Center here in Carson, California, USA, and an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment. And it's all brought to you by K2 Promotions and sponsored by Expo 2017 and Trackimo.com. All bouts sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. This next contest sanctioned by the World Boxing Association and promoted by Top Rank Incorporated in association with Warriors Boxing Promotions. At ringside, the three judges scoring this contest: Adelaide Bird, Steve Morrow, and Tom Taylor. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Raul Caiz Jr. And now, it's time for our co-feature. It's champion versus champion, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Featherweight Super World Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black, official weight 125 1/2 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one, consisting of 24 fights, 24 victories, including 20 wins by knockout from Montego Bay, Jamaica. He's the undefeated WBA Featherweight World Champion, the Jamaican KO King, Nicholas Axeman Walters. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, and officially weighing in at 125 1/2 pounds also. His professional record, also outstanding. 33 victories, including 21 knockouts, only 2 defeats. He's a 5-time, 5-division world champion. Fighting out of Bohol, Philippines, the former flyweight, super flyweight, bantamweight, super bantamweight world champion, and now the reigning and defending WBA Super World Featherweight Champion, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire.
Fighter chief second only, please. Fighter chief second only. Let me fix your trunks here. No, leave them up there for right now. I'm gonna give you the mark. Mouthpiece? Mouthpiece? Come closer. All right, gentlemen, you received the instructions in the dressing room. Know what I expect? A good, clean fight. Legal punches, here on up, these are a bit high. Touch gloves, good luck to both of you.
Donaire seems to have that eye of the tiger back. He seems to be in that same place he was a couple years ago in terms of preparedness, and that Donaire used to obliterate good fighters.
The voice you just heard, that of HBO boxing analyst Max Kellerman. Roy Jones also joins us at ringside. And now as round one gets underway, Roy, you track what's going on while Max and I discuss what a loaded division this is.
Certainly is. Donaire versus Walters. Here is Lomachenko. See Lomachenko, of course, waiting in the wings, could get the winner of this fight. Johnny Gonzalez, Gradovich, Morris. The division's chock full of top-notch fighters.
So supremacy in this division will really mean something for whichever fighter is able to carve it out over the course of the next couple of years. And Roy Jones, a relatively cautious start for two guys who may be looking to counter.
Yeah, it's a very good slow start for both guys, but the thing you gotta like about Donaire is the experience is speaking. You see he's starting out with head movement to try to set Nicholas up and get a little closer to land his power shots, whereas Nicholas is just walking right to Donaire to get his power in. So it's like their backgrounds are coming out.
Well, as I was saying, Donaire used to obliterate good fighters, but there's a sense about Walters that maybe he's something a little more than just a good fighter. And that even if Donaire is on the top of his game, he has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, Walters is a very good puncher, a very powerful puncher, and a guy who does not know how to lose and who is not here to lose. He has done a lot of learning on the job. He got a lot better in that fight he had against Vic Darchinyan.
Watch your feet, guys, watch your feet.
Yeah, we mentioned he overpowered Darchinyan in Macau earlier this year. That's the same Darchinyan who was giving Nonito Donaire the devil of the time in Texas the preceding year before Donaire bailed himself out with a left hook knockout in the late rounds. At the point at which he did so in the 9th round, he was trailing on 2 scorecards to Artinian, and now Donaire goes down on what appeared as though it could have been a right-hand punch for Walters, but Raul Caiz rules it a slip, and there's no knockdown.
Punch was on the chin, so I think it could have been ruled a knockdown, but he did slip as well. So,
yeah, just make the point very clearly here. It was not ruled a knockdown. Had it been a knockdown, it would have been second time, or the first time that Donaire had been down in his career.
That was a right hand, but Walters told us he thinks he has a hook that can hurt Donaire. And Donaire, of course, every time he's hit anyone cleanly with his left hook, has knocked them down or out and usually broken something in that other guy. The old expression in boxing is never hook with a hooker. It'll be interesting to see what happens if Walters tries it.
Donaire is being very disciplined here about not leading, waiting to counter, forcing Walters to take the lead. But meanwhile, Walters has been landing some shots and is seemingly winning the round while Donaire waits for that countering opportunity.
and that was the first big left hook of the fight that Donaire has landed. The first time Walters tasted his power. So now they both tasted one another's power, and the
10
fight will
seconds.
pursue
Stop the bell, gentlemen. 10
at this
seconds.
point.
Good long jab from Walters in this round just now.
Both fighters trained by their fathers with everything that brings in terms of implications. And we'll see how those relationships progress as the fight goes on.
So move side to side, don't stand that rope, okay? Basta rin ba? Okay, keep moving side to side. That's all you need. Okay? Don't get hit with those jabs, don't get touched with those jabs, okay? Just move quick. Move your head quick. Then do some counter punching. Okay, work. Your body shot's working good, but you didn't land it good. Okay?
Very good call by the referee. You see this left hook to the shoulders, followed by a right hook to the shoulder. Did not make contact with Nonito's head, therefore was not a knockdown, clearly a slip. Great call by the referee.
So Raul Caiz Jr. on top of that one. CompuBox numbers in the first round. The pace was relatively slow. Donaire landed 4 out of 24. Walters landed 8 out of 26 by CompuBox count. Maybe the most effective punch. Max Kellerman pointed it out. That long jab by Walters toward the end of the round, right into the mouth of Nonito Donaire.
And the Walters punch didn't land on the face when Donaire went down. It doesn't have to be called a knockdown, but I agree the referee's discretion was correct there. It's not what caused the knockdown.
Well, I think the punch has to be landed in a scoring area for it to be called a knockdown, Max, and the shoulder is not a scoring area.
Round 2 of a scheduled 12. Nicholas Walters in the black and green trunks. Nonito Donaire in the red. In his Fighter of the Year campaign, 2012, 2 of Nonito Donaire's 4 wins took place here in this ring, in this stadium. He was the main event headline fighter those nights.
See Walters trying to get Donaire back with that hook when Donaire lands his.
Well,
Good left hook to the body by Donaire.
Yeah, you see the experience of Donaire. Walters is trying to land his hook to the head only, but Donaire is also taking a body shot.
And in terms of one-punch knockout power in boxing, Donaire's hook to the head is as good as any.
Donaire getting in a right hand to the chin of Walters. And in this round, Donaire has chosen, after having waited in the first round, to be just a little bit more aggressive, stepping up at times and taking the lead. The fire combinations at Nicholas Walters.
Almost takes me back to the Zuma Nelson Salvador Sanchez fight.
And we're so glad it does. What a couple of names those are.
Yes, it is. You see a guy, Nicholas Walters, who's young but up and coming, trying his best to come out and compete with the more experienced, highly veteran guy in Nonito Donaire.
So in this case, Walters is Sanchez and Donaire.
No,
other way around?
Yeah, Walters is a Zuma Nelson because the Zuma Nelson was only about 15-0 at that time, I think.
Got it.
And Sanchez took that fight on short notice and wound up stopping Azuma Nelson in the 15th round of a classic fight.
But what a fight it was, and this so far has lived up to be one good fight because these two guys are playing for keeps.
Hard body shot by Donaire. Walter says it was below the belt. Raul Caiz immediately agrees.
As does Donaire.
And Walters will get a chance to recover.
Here we go. Touch gloves, guys. Head accidental. Head accidental. Head accidental. Here we go. ¿Estás bien? Okay. There we go.
Donaire offering to touch gloves, indicating he understood it was low, and now Walters is ready to fight again. You're even on punches landed in this round, 5 apiece. Good hard left hook by Walters.
Yeah, he's not here to play games, Jim. He's trying to win. I think Donaire's cut
10
now.
seconds, stop at the bell.
Hard right hand by Walters. Body shots by Walters. Got in a right cross. Jab lands for Walters. Limp hook for Walters and left hooks for Donaire. Second left hook hurt Walters.
Never hook with a hooker.
Walters giving Donaire too many chances at the left hook, and he almost paid the ultimate price at the end of the round. Well, not the ultimate, but the boxing ultimate.
You gotta put that foot in.
Yeah, that's it. Breathe deep, breathe out. Are you feeling good? Do you feel good? Yeah? Yeah, you crazy? He hits hard, but that's it, right?
He's still a low blow. Definitely a low blow, right down the middle. Both fighters admitted it. Donaire didn't do it on purpose. He showed right away that he knew it was low, and gave the guy a hand pound to show that, hey, my bad.
Raul Caiz Jr., the referee, came to us to tell us that the cut was caused by a punch, not by a butt. Fascinating round to score, because Walters was taking the lead throughout the round, threw more, landed more, seemed to be getting the better of it, and then in the closing seconds got hurt by a Donaire left hook.
Donaire won that round. I mean, you know, you do that to a guy, you have him drunk, walking around the ring drunk. You won the round, I don't care what happened before.
Right, and he got him drunk at about the 256 mark, but it's good enough.
Good enough.
And now Donaire's on the hunt. He knows he can hurt Walters, and he's after him.
Good left hook again by Nonito Donaire.
Donaire
coming up and under with that one.
Showed a lot in that last round. Not only that, he still has that fighter's mentality that when his opponent seems to be getting the better of him, he wants to go right back, but also that he still packs power, even at featherweight, even against a big, young, strong kid.
Walters was having his way, may have gotten just a little too enthusiastic, and he hung that chin out there for Donaire.
Well, no, he didn't really hang it out. He just didn't realize the punching power, the true punching power of Donaire.
Stop, no punch.
He thought he could exchange hooks with him.
Exactly. You don't know that sometimes until you're in front of a guy. I never forget when I fought Jeff Lacey, he thought for sure he could hook as hard as I could, but it was no way possible. And he didn't know that until the fight started. Same thing has happened here with Nicholas.
The hook is not like a jab. Sometimes you want to throw a jab to nullify the other guy's jab. It's not a knockout punch. If the other guy lands the jab, you're still in the fight. But you lose the battle of the hooks, fight's over.
That was right.
Two quick left hooks inside by Walters. Now Donaire lands the left hook.
Oh, good right hand.
Walters reaching with that right hand, but getting it onto the face of Donaire.
And you see Donaire steadily stalking. Everything Donaire is throwing right now has knockout on it. Knockout intent except that jab, and Walters knows that. So Walters is returning punches with knockout intent, but he doesn't quite have the experience to deliver the right hand with that kind of intent yet.
Walters sticks his jab. Lands it despite the Donaire head movement.
Walters has had success whenever he's thrown that jab. There it is, long distance. Keeps Donaire at range and snaps his head back.
Yeah, he has a good left jab. If he had a good right hand to match it, Donaire would have a real problem in front of him right now. See, a right hand is kind of a slapping right. It's not as straight as that left hand. Oh, uppercut.
That was a good right hand.
Good enough to knock Donaire down. That was not a slap that time.
That was not a slap, no way.
He brought it up and under a little bit and got it onto the chin of Donaire, and that is the first knockdown of Nonito Donaire's career.
Very smart right uppercut.
So now both fighters have had a big moment. Walters just a little bit better because he got Donaire to the canvas.
That jab setting everything up for Walters.
Good left hook by Donaire. Walters lands the right hand again.
And they're both going for broke.
What a firefight we're getting now.
I told you.
John, I told you, watch the uppercut, okay? Just move, don't get too close too much, John. Get your rings. You're too close too much. Rings, Timo. Okay, ayaw kayong run. How you feel? Don't get too close, eh? Karon, I know he's gonna come in, okay? Okay? Batay.
Max, you asked me earlier why I got to keep the hands down. You see Donaire's hands were up right there, but the uppercut came right down the middle. He couldn't see it because his own left hand blocked his vision. Once again, you see him going, the right hand came from behind the left hand that's up. So the left hand blocks the vision, and the uppercut sneaks right up the middle.
So while he sometimes struggles to throw the right cross with power, the uppercut was full power all the way. Harold, how have you scored it through 3?
Okay, Jim, I got it 2-1. 29-27, Nicholas Walters. You know, Jim, I thought he had boxed him in round 1, but then Nonito Donaire came along getting one round 2 with some good left hooks. In round 3, that uppercut gave Nicholas Walters a 10-8 round. So 2 rounds to 1, 29-27, Nicholas Walters.
And this fight, Jim, so far is pretty clear. When Walters fights behind that good long jab, things go his way. When he thinks he has Donaire in trouble and starts to hook with him, he gives Donaire chances.
Well, Donaire has to do something now to change the tempo of this fight because Walters is at an all-time high confidentially. And with his confidence being so high, Donaire needs to do something as the older fighter to slow the young fighter down.
Such as?
Well, you got to hit him with something big and hurt him again, or do something to make him feel as though he's the lesser fighter in the fight.
Walters told us yesterday he didn't feel that he had to take anything away from Donaire. Rigondeaux, who beat Donaire, did it partly by taking his left hook away, and Walters doesn't feel he has to do that, but he paid the price for that earlier in the fight.
Yeah, he did, but he also came back and proved why. He showed that he's just a stronger puncher as Donaire. Just as Donaire can hurt him, he can hurt Donaire.
And by the way, Roy, it's abundantly clear to this point who wins a jabbing contest. Must Donaire at some point make a decision about whether to go in closer and try to fight on the inside?
Well, he has to make a decision to stop trying to knock Nicholas out with one punch, and whether it's inside or outside, he has to become more busy.
Great point. In the last round, Walters threw 15 more punches than Donaire. It's just a big enough margin that it catches the eyes of judges by and large.
Well, Walters is definitely more confident because he sees blood on Donaire now, and he knows that Donaire is strictly trying to knock him out right now. So Donaire has to go back to his boxing game.
Against smaller fighters earlier in Donaire's career, when he was at the height of his physical ability, he could get away with improvising his boxing and not doing it by the book. Here, against a more textbook fighter who has physical advantages, Donaire is suffering from this.
Well, their eye is not looking good, Max, and Walters is steadily making it worse with that long jab.
Yeah, Donaire's going to have to make quick decisions in the next few rounds.
Yes, he is.
His right eye is cut and not getting any better. He's losing the jabbing contest to a longer fighter, and he's been knocked down for the first time in his career. He needs some drama.
And to Nicholas's credit, Nicholas is also doing a good job of working Donaire's body. I don't see Donaire throwing a lot of body shots at Nicholas, but Nicholas is hitting him with some great left body shots.
Listen for that bell.
A bloodied Nonito Donaire goes back to his corner at the end of round 4 with a lot of thinking to do in the next couple of rounds. Immediately following this telecast, stick around for 24/7 Hopkins-Kovalev as we get up close and personal with Bernard Hopkins and Sergey Kovalev in preparation for their upcoming showdown. And on November 8th, World Championship Boxing takes you to the live fight between Hopkins and Kovalev as they face off with 3 light heavyweight belts up for grabs. Check out HBO Boxing on Instagram to see bonus coverage and exclusive photos like this one.
Let's get moving.
Cutman is Mike Basil in Donaire's corner.
All right, guys, let's roll. Come on.
Not a super experienced Cutman, but he has done it for several fighters. Jabs in round 4. This illustrates a part of the problem for Nonito. Donaire was 2 of 22 in the jab category, according to CompuBox in the 4th round. That's 2 out of 22. Walters, 14 out of 34. So again, there's no question who wins the jabbing contest. Donaire has to find another way.
There's also no question who's winning this fight. It's Walters winning the fight, except for that left hook at the end of the 2nd round for Donaire. That said, Donaire's been in trouble before, and his power, especially the left hands, bailed him out, and we've seen him have Walters, I think, ready to go from that left hook at the end of the second.
Well, right now he's not being a smart guy because he can't let Walters continue to attack him like this. If you let Walters continue to attack, he's bound to land a punch sooner or later. So Donaire needs to do something, like I said earlier, to change the rhythm of this fight.
And the way to stop Walters from dominating the way he's doing it
is to stop him from coming forward. Shoulder up with him, shoot a jab at him, do something to make him go backwards. If not, that's going to continue to happen. Can't just let a man come at you free-willing. And that means free willingly without having to worry about a punch.
So what Donaire needs to do at some point is stand his ground.
What he's doing right now. What he's doing right now. But he isn't throwing body shots though, Jim. That's puzzling to me because the younger fighter is looking like the more seasoned or more veteran fighter. The younger fighter is throwing body shots and head shots. The veteran is the one forgetting the head shot, forgetting the body shots.
Donaire speared Walters with a right hand in there. That's what got the crowd's attention. Spears him again with a right hand. Walters' left hook not as effective at close range like that. Quick left hook inside lands for Donaire. Now Walters lands another in return.
And they're exchanging hooks.
But Donaire has to be careful in here because he's the guy with the bad eye.
And he's the guy who seemed worse affected by those left hooks just then.
And he's still not throwing any body shots.
There's that Walters uppercut again.
So Nonito Donaire, so far, is giving Nicholas Walters a vacation to the body. And that's a severe deficit cumulatively as we keep going from round to round.
Most definitely, because the kid, Walters, is still going to Nonito's body every chance he gets. Good body shot there by Nonito. But you see Nicholas come right back with it.
Inside, Donaire at least has chances. When Walters keeps him at the end of that jab, there's not a lot Nonito seems to be able to do.
That's my point, Max. That's why I said you got to either get close to him or start punching more. We can't keep backing up like this, though.
Walters got most of his professional training in the gyms of Panama City in Panama. And I said to him, does everybody there want to be Roberto Duran? He said, everybody is Roberto Duran.
Oh.
They all fight with the same energy.
He actually gets more experience in these fights, Jim. He got so much experience in the fight against Victor Chilian until it's unreal.
Donaire's got to come up with a big hook here because Walters is beating him up on the ropes.
Donaire bloodied again as he returns to the corner, nearly midway through the fight. Later tonight, we'll speak with 140-pound titleist Chris Algieri about his November 22 HBO pay-per-view assignment against Filipino superstar Manny Pacquiao. And then in our main event, Gennady Golovkin, one of the sport's fastest rising and most destructive forces, takes on Marco Antonio Rubio in pursuit of his 18th consecutive knockout win. It'll be Golovkin's third title defense of 2014. It takes place in front of what appears to be a completely sold-out plus standing room only crowd in his first appearance here in Southern California. All coming your way later tonight on World Championship Boxing. CompuBox numbers in the 5th round. Donaire 10 out of 34. Walters 21 out of 66. The 21 is the high number so far for connected punches in a round for Walters. He's putting more and more distance between himself and Nonito Donaire.
Whereas he was slapping with that right hand, Walters was earlier in the fight, he started throwing some good straight right hands against Donaire when Donaire's back was on the ropes.
Yes, he did. When he had it pinned against the ropes, he threw really good right hands.
Well, he changed the fight with one right uppercut when he deposited Donaire onto his trunks, and that seemed to give him more confidence in the right hands he's continuing to throw upstairs.
Now that he knows he can hurt Donaire, he's concentrating more on throwing power with his right hands instead of just throwing over the top with kind of an open hand. Now Donaire's other eye seems to be cut. The left eye has a cut on the outside.
There's that jab, and good things start to happen when he unfurls the jab, Walters does from distance.
Told you about the 73-inch wingspan. Because of the nature of his body, his belief in his punching power, you're invited to think of Walters as kind of a featherweight Lennox Lewis. Comes from the same part of Jamaica that produced the great heavyweight champion, who of course fought under the banner of England, but was always a native Jamaican.
Donaire admitted to us yesterday that in the Darchinian fight, in between rounds, after Darchinian hurt him, he was thinking about quitting, but his body wouldn't let him. And at a certain point in this fight, if he can't change the fight, you wonder if he's going to confront that moment again. Donaire, of course, didn't quit, went out and came from behind and knocked Darchinian out.
And insisted to us yesterday that all the desire is back, that he wants to continue to be a great fighter and a meaningful force in the sport, that he wants to have a career that will go down in history, that he expects to go from here to 130 pounds and then 135. But all of that thinking could change if this continues to go the way it's going tonight.
Well, it's a tough night for him. The young guy's gaining confidence every round, and when you got a young guy like Nicholas coming up at you, chasing you, trying to knock you off the top, it's pretty rough for a guy like Donaire when it gets hard early.
Particularly for a guy who suffers from the talent of the gifted as Donaire does, where he was so fast, he did hit so hard, that he didn't have to learn technically how to do things maybe as well as a less gifted athlete would have to. And so now doesn't have as much of that to fall back on.
No, he is a better technician than Nicholas. It's just that in pro boxing, sometimes the guy who strikes first or makes the other guy mess up first or mess the other guy face up first is the guy that gets the advantage. He just caught Donaire first.
He may be, but
hard right hand by Walters. Donaire gets in a left hook. Walters with 2 more right hands, and Donaire is down again.
And I don't know if he'll get up this time, Jim. I don't think he will. I know he won't get up this time, Jim.
7, 8.
He won't get up this time.
He's up, but Raul Kaiz is going to stop it. Nicholas Walters has seized Donaire's portion of the featherweight title.
and that could be the end of the top flight run of one of the significant fighters of the last several years in the lighter weight classes, Nonito Donaire, and the birth of a featherweight star in Nicholas Walters.
And let me just give credit to some people you never see. Before every fight, Roy and Max and I are treated to a preview written by the staff of CompuBox based on their perceptions numerically of what the two fighters have been doing. The CompuBox prediction for this fight was this torch will not be passed, it will be violently seized by the younger, stronger, hungrier fighters. That's exactly what happened.
You're exactly right.
With the exception of a few moments with the left hook at the end of the second round, Walters dominated this fight from front to back.
And that was a quick shot of Rachel Donaire, Nonito's beloved wife, mother of their son Jarrell, and the look on her face tells you everything about where they stand right at this moment in the Nonito Donaire boxing career. Many doubts. He got hammered tonight.
Yes, he did, over and over and over again.
And there's a brand new force in the featherweight division in that loaded lineup of fighters we told you earlier. This man must be reckoned with.
And the X-Man threw a real X over the top, overhand right high on the head of Nonito Donaire after the body shot. You see that body work right there, Jim? Those are the things that breaks older fighters down. But Donaire is constantly throwing at his head. He had just hit Donaire with a good body shot. Those body shots will affect you in the long run. And then it was all finished by that big overhand right on the temple.
Right on the temple. You wonder what kind of punch in a boxing ring might concuss you? That was concussive.
Yes, it was.
So Nicholas Walters, with axe in hand, celebrates his victory.
Thank you very much.
And now let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the knockout.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here at StubHub Center, Carson, California, the end of this contest comes at 2 minutes, 59 seconds of round number 6. The winner by knockout victory. His record now goes to 25-0, 21 KOs, and he is the Super World Champion of the WBA, the KO King from Jamaica, Nicholas X-Man Walters.
look at final CompuBox numbers in that fight. Walters more than doubling Donaire in terms of landed punches. A lot of that came from the far more jabs that Walters threw in the fight. He throws 115 punches more, he lands 45 more, he lands at a significantly higher connect percentage. Power punches. Oh no, jabs. Jabs, it's a big, wide margin. 44 jabs landed for Walters to only 4 for Nonito Donaire. The arm length difference, just the general range difference, made this impossible for Donaire. And total power punches, Walters landing 5 more, and all of those 5 came in the last few seconds because there was a moment when they had each landed 36, and Walters throwing just a few more as well. And now let's go to Max Kellerman in the ring with the winner.
Congratulations, Nicholas Walters. You just did something no one at the pro level has ever done before. You dominated, knocked down, and eventually knocked out Nonito Donaire. How did you do it?
Well, actually, I work hard. First, I say, thanks to my team of people. Thanks to the WBA for giving me this opportunity. Thanks to Mr. Bob Arm for his promotion, Warriors promotion also, thank you. I must say thanks to my manager and thanks to the public in general for supporting the Axeman. But this victory didn't just came like that. You know, we work hard for this victory. I mean, knowing that we're fighting Donaire, it's always going to be a tough work because he's a super, super great boxer. He's a super world champion. I mean, category after category has won titles. So I know I had to respect him. I have to put a lot in this training, and that's what I did. I came out. He caught me a few shots in the early round also because you have power and you have speed. It was good. It was great. The fight. Well, I enjoyed the fight. I enjoyed the fight, and I thank him also, thank Donaire also for giving me this opportunity of fighting one of the best and give me the opportunity so I can display my talent and HB onto the world.
It was a magnificent performance, partly because you dominated pretty much the entire fight, but also because when you decided to trade with him towards the end of the second round, he hit you with that hook that is in the past always turned around fights for him, usually knocked the guy down or out, sometimes broken something when he lands that hook. He seemed to hurt you, and yet you managed to recover in time to go out and pick up where you left off in the third round. Take me through that moment when he hit you with that hook.
You know what? I got a little bit confident. I realized, I said, you know what? I'm going to overpower him. So I went a little bit too confident. And he caught me with a good shot. Boom. When he caught me pretty good. And the bell rang, and I went to my corner. When I went to my corner, my coach, they were like excited. I said, no, calm down. I recuperated from the shot just by walking over by the corner. I recuperated from the shot. But it was a very good shot. He caught me very, very clean. Very good shot. And you have good power also. So, you know, but I recuperated after that shot, and I came out. I knew that I have a job to do. And I just went out there and get the job done.
It's your father's 55th birthday today. Would you like to, as a birthday present, see the end of this fight? You want to go through this end of this fight? Here's the knockout.
Let's get a look at it. Yeah, me too.
Take us through it, Nicholas.
No, Toy. What's your shot?
What do you see?
Yeah, you know what? If you take a look at it, I invited him into me. It's like fishing. You give him the bait and he came. If you see, he launches a shot and I get away from the shot and then I counter him. But I take nothing away from Nonito. He's a great champion, wonderful person. I can give that to him. He's a wonderful person. And you know, if sometime I'm supposed to fight someone and I need some speed, I definitely look up for Nonito to help me in a training camp or whatever, because he's a great, great fighter.
Gracious in victory. Good to have you as a new featherweight star in boxing. Thanks, Nicholas.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Much respect, man. Much respect. You know, you're a great champion, man.
You too. Hey, come on,
sir.
man.
Thank you.
You're one of my favorite fighters, man. Hey, come on, man.
Hey, you're my favorite fighter now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man. You're amazing.
A champ to a champ, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And if
You're
I can
amazing.
help you sometime
Hey,
in training or you...
Likewise.
Thank you. I respect
Thank you so much.
Nonito, what happened tonight?
Let me see. First of all, I want to thank Nicholas for just an amazing fighter, amazing person. The people out here, I'm sorry I fell short to my goal, but I want to thank you guys for coming out here. I still love you guys. Hopefully you guys still love me. Thank you guys so much.
How much of tonight, because you've been very dominant until the last year or so, and there was a lot going on in your life, you were annihilating top opposition. How much of tonight was how good your opponent is? How much of it is now competing at a heavier weight class at an older age?
He knocked the out of me. That's for sure. You know, he's an amazing fighter, amazing champion, man. I just put my hats off of him. You know, he's an amazing guy. But, you know, I thought that I'll be good in this weight class, you know, as I'm getting older. But I'm not going to take anything from Walters. I was at my best. I've never trained this hard. I've never, ever, ever trained this hard. I mean, I was away from my family. I knew exactly what kind of punch, power, and the person that he is inside that ring. And he came out as tough as I thought he would be. And you know, just the size that he had over me, I couldn't move. He was just amazing. He overwhelmed me and knocked the shit out of me.
Nonito, I hate to ask at a time like this, but I have to. Given the fact that you trained as hard as you did, you seem to get that eye of the tiger back and seem to be totally ready. What is losing, and you've never in that condition ever lost to a fighter, usually you dominate them. What does this mean for your career?
Well, I gotta go back into to the drawing board. You know, I know that I can't compete with guys like Walters. I mean, he's just amazing, overwhelming, powerful guy, and he was just overwhelming inside that ring. No matter what I did, movements and anything, I just succumbed to his size, his power, and just his overwhelming aura inside that ring.
Does that mean you want to move back down, or that you're done?
We're looking at it. You know, I came out here with my wife. We'll decide, you know. I mean, I came out here with a great champion. I never backed down from any fight, and you saw it here. You know, I could have said, you know what, I got the WBA. I don't need to fight the guy who has the WBA, but I came in here because I know that Walter is an amazing fighter, and he's worthy of that challenge, and I came in here, and he beat the shit out of me.
Thanks, Nonito. Appreciate you talking to us, especially now.
Thank you guys for everything.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
No, you have too much to do to give up the sport. You're crazy. You need to, listen, man, you need to stay you're better than most of the guys that I fight. Come on, man.
He's my son. You know, it's my important, my family. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's
so I gotta
important
talk to them. I gotta talk to them and see.
Please
But
talk to them, man.
You are
Hey.
amazing, man.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.